everyone, welcome back to the Life and Times of Mulch. There's me. And today we're building the next 6 stages. Yes, 6 stages of build E.T. extraterrestrial from FANHOME. And today I believe we're building more of the insides of E.T. Insides. Let's go build it. Hope it's clean. Well, hello everybody and welcome back to building the next 6 stages of build E.T. the extraterrestrial. Yes, 6 stages. Now it does seem like a lot, but I've had a quick look through the magazine and there's really not much to do in each stage, so we'll keep 6 stages in this episode, but obviously in future episodes, if I have a look and it looks like too much, then we will split it 3 in one and 3 in another. But for today it's all 6, so we're going from stage 21 to 26. So without further ado, let's go to number 21. Let's have a look through the book. Hope everyone is doing well. Okay, so in this one we're doing the waist structure, and like I say, in this one we've got 2 pieces and 2 screws. Very little to do, so I'm sure we'll be able to get through these stages fairly quickly. On Golden Pond, I love the movie On Golden Pond. If you haven't seen it, check it out, it's a great film. Okay, here's the package for 21, so let's get it open and show you what's inside. So we have this big piece here, this slightly smaller piece here. These are both plastic, and we have 2 screws. And there you go. Okay, so nice and simply, if we look at it from this side, we've got 2 holes here, and we've got on this plate on either side 2 holes there and 2 holes there. Now we've also got these lugs on the top. We want them sticking upwards when we're putting this on, and we're putting it on there, and then we're going to screw it in from the back there with these PTP screws. So 2 screws in there, so that's going to look like that when that's screwed together. So let's get that screwed together now. So the 2 screws, like I say, there and there. That holds that piece in there. Nice and simple. And that's stage 21. So moving on, stage 22. The infamous bike scene. We're doing more of the waist and abdominal structure. And again, although there's a couple of pages, we've just got 2 pieces and some more screws. So not, excuse me, not too much to sink our teeth in, and easy enough to get all these stages done. So let's have a look at what comes in 22. Here's a nice little pack. Let's get it open. Okay, first you've got this section that is very similar to the other side, so pretty much carbon copy of that. We've got this section that's got these 5 openings here. You quite clearly see that both sides are different. Then we've got 4 screws, but they're actually different. If I bring them up, got some slightly longer screws, and they are the PTP B screws, and they're just the PTP screws, which are the shorter ones. So the shorter ones are like you've just had, the PTPs, and the longer ones are the PTP B screws. God, try saying that too many times. Let's have a look, see what we need to do. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is nice and simply, we're just going to repeat what we did on this side. We're going to attach that to the opposite side and screw that in. So let's do that. Okay, that should look like that. Just persevere with these screws a bit. It can be a bit awkward to get it lined up, but once they're lined up, they're fairly easy to get in. Okay, so next we'll take this piece, and you'll notice, if you look on the side, that these holes have the openings. We want them facing inwards, so that way around. And these end pieces here, one there and obviously on the other side, you're going to locate them with that hole there and that hole there. I'll just show you. It goes. You should be able to manipulate it fairly simple. So when it's in line, you'll feel when it's in line because it won't move out, but it's got a little bit of play there. And then we're putting these longer PTPB screws in there and there. Okay, just making sure that they're facing that way. Okay, and that's everything in that stage. Let's move on. Now moving on to stage 23. Quick look through the magazine. We've got another one of those sections that we've just done and some other bits, but only 2 screws. So again, not much to do, but we'll see what we have to do there. It's like a woolly mammoth there. Dental sitcoms. It was a very young Leonardo DiCaprio. Okay, anyway, let's get the pieces out for stage 23. 2 of the longer screws again, so they're the PTPB screws. Another one of these sections, and then we've got 2 little, almost look like 2 little handles. They're both exactly the same. Let's see what we need to do. The first thing we need to do is very simple. Again, with this piece with the slits on the holes facing that way, we're taking these, for want of a better word, handles, and just pushing them into there and into there, just to push in, and that's going to look like that. Right, then we're going to bring over what we've created, and quite simply, it's exactly the same as that one, but the only difference is we've got these 2 bits on here. It's going in the very bottom of these, matching up with the bottom of those, and we're using the long screws. Let me get that screwed in, show you what that looks like. Okay, when I'm screwing these in, I'm not doing these majorly tight because you don't know if they're going to have to be adjusted in any way. So mine can, there's still a bit of movement there, and that is everything in that stage. Moving on to stage 24. See, we've already done 3 stages. It would have been far too short just to split this one up. There's not that much to do. More on the abdomen structure that we're working on. So a few more screws, but again, not masses amount of pieces. More about different early model making and drawings there, and the birth of the MTV and the music video. And one of the most famous music videos is the Michael Jackson Thriller video. Everything we need for 24. Again, different screws. It's the PTPs, it's the shorter ones, and then we've got 4 pieces of the longer PTP B screws. See, I've got used to saying that now. Not quite so much of a mouthful, but there you go. And we've also got this very large piece of plastic here. So let's see what we need to do. Okay, so we take our section that we've made or been making. Now this, if you have the side that hasn't got the handles on facing you, and then this section is going to go that way up, and it's going to quite simply go on the side. Now there are 2 holes in the bottom here. That's where the shorter screws are. Your 4 longer screws are going to go in 1, 2, 3, 4, and they're going to line up 1, 2, 3, 4. So your 2 shorter ones going in there, and then your longer ones going in there, and that's going to fit over there. Now this is where I said you don't want to fully tighten these because you may need to shift them around a little bit to get it lined up. Okay, but once that's all lined up, get them screwed in. I advise you to get the two bottom ones in first, and then you can play around with the sides. So let's do the two at the bottom first. Okay, so you got just the two in at the bottom at the minute. Now you can manipulate. It's easier said than done. This side bits, as you can see there, I've had to angle. It's straight at the bottom there, but it's angled there, so you can line up your holes, and the same on the other side. You'll know when it's there because it will line up and it will click. So then we get there 4 screws, 2 in there and 2 in there, and they're the long ones, remember. Now these ones I'm doing up tighter than I did the other ones because there's no giving this. This is just strengthening everything up. What I will do, I'm going to tighten up these bottom ones after, because there's probably going to be another side on here. When the other side's on, then I will tighten up the ones that we did for these pieces. And that's how that looks after that stage. Let's move on. Stage 25. School on the set. See, you never get away from schoolwork, kids. Yeah, like I say. So we're going to do exactly the same, but on the opposite side. So we've got the longer screws and the 2 smaller screws. And then we can strengthen up that side, and then we can basically tighten up the screws that we had in the previous stage. Okay, so let's get that out. Everything in 25 is pretty much the same as 24. The other side of this, you've got your longer screws, PTP-B, and PTP shorter ones. Yeah, obviously we're going to be doing exactly the same as we did there. Smaller ones on the bottom, then lining up our sides and getting our 4 longer ones in. Let's do that now. Okay, so you've got both sides on there now. And like I say, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and I'm going to tighten this screw here, here, here and here. But that is pretty solid now. And that's everything to do in stage 25. So in the last stage, just to give you some idea as well, this is stage 26 by the way, my recording time at the minute is just over half an hour, and that's with no cuts so far. So if I'd have done this in 2 lots to 3, there would have been a lot shorter and not much going on. So that's why I've kept it as a 6. In this stage we're doing something a little bit different. We're only starting the mechanism of the neck. So got a few little bits there, but nothing to screw, so this isn't going to take very long. Quill it through the rest of the magazine. And Cyclops. Oh, look at that. You set up Spectrum versus a Commodore 64. Now, a lot of you younger folks won't recognise this, but trust me, this is my childhood coming back to me here. Right, let's get the bits out for this last stage. Like I say, we're moving away from the abdominal bits now and doing something a bit different in the last stage, but there's not a massive amount to it, so I'm going to show you all the pieces that we have. Not much at all. We have this half of the casing, this very large plastic cog, and we got a little bearing here. First things first, we're just putting the bearing on the end of this cog, and the shorter end, push that on, and that looks like that, nice and simple. Then the end with the bearing on, the bearing is going to sit in this little groove here. Okay, so that's going to be really nice and smooth, and that's going to poke out the other side. And that is basically it for that stage. Told you there wasn't much to do, but that is the start of another motor of some description. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we're done. Let's have a chat. And there you go. I told you, I was thinking about splitting it up into 2 lots of 3, but as it turned out, there wasn't really that much to do. There was a lot of screwing, and we did have this amazingly difficult stage to do here in the last stage. We had to put this in there. Oh, what's this going to be working? Who knows? I think it could be the neck, but that's just me, I don't know. But we built this, but mostly we concentrated on the abdomen of E.T, and this, I'm telling you, is solid. I mean, it's all plastic, which is obviously going to cut down on the weight, but there are a good 20 screws in here, I think, at least. Fairly easy stages, nice and simple, nice big screws, nothing too fiddly, and you created this nice solid base. Obviously we're building sort of an ectoskeleton, if you like, of the inside of E.T before we cover him in the skin of the flesh of E.T that we know and love. Excuse me, just had a Yorkshire tea. It was very nice. I've only had one today, got to make up for that. So that's what we built today. I'm enjoying the stages, I'm enjoying the build. Nothing too hard so far. I mean, the hardest bits have been a little bit of the wiring maybe, but these are nice simple stages, and it doesn't really look anything like E.T. But all this sort of stuff you won't see on the finished model. Obviously it'll be inside, but it's nice to get an idea of how the process is working and how the team thought to put this together. And so far I'm enjoying it, and like I say, it's nice and solid, so it's good that it's going to have a good solid base and foundation for your E.T. So when you finished it and you're moving around, you know it's not going to fall apart. Well, with any luck anyway. So that's what we did today in those 6 stages. Thank you for joining me. Thanks for liking and subscribing. My subscribers are going up. I'm edging closer to that 200 mark. I might have already reached it. I don't know, but I think I'm gonna do something special for when I get to the 250 subscribers. Not sure yet, but it always amazes me every day when I get a new subscriber. So thank you everyone who has subscribed and who's watching and who's continued to watching. I know the E.T videos are quite popular on my channel, so keep watching and I'll keep building. See you next time. Life and Times of Mulch.